Now I've got my Whirlpool Gold stove here. The lower oven no longer ignites, so I'm going to diagnose and repair this. I believe it's probably the igniter, but I'll show you how to check it here. So first I'm going to get ready to run through a test here. It's easy to just pull out your oven racks. You slide your bottom tray a little bit. You can pop these off so you can see the igniters. I'm going to go ahead and do that for both upper and lower ovens. Then to start the test, you press cancel, cancel, start within 5 seconds. And you'll see test on. It's showing the current temperature of the upper and lower ovens. If you press the down arrow, then the auto test is ready. And you can hit start. This will run through some diagnostics. And we'll really want to just get to the lower igniter. That's the one we're interested in, but we can just see if it comes up with anything else. Keyboard test. You can check if any of your buttons are going bad. Press cancel twice to exit. Now it's doing the upper bake relays. Now it's asking me if the upper bake igniter is on. Put it in there. And if you can see that igniter on right there. So then we just say up arrow. Now it's checking the upper broiler. Now it's asking me if the upper broiler igniter is on, and as you can see, there it comes on there. They're really easy to see when they're on. So just hit the up arrow to indicate yes. Now we're testing the lower ones, which is what we're interested in. Now it's asking if the lower igniter is on. And as you can see, there's nothing going on with the lower igniter. So I'm going to hit down arrow. It says check lower bake wiring. So it wants me to check the wiring and the igniter. It's continuing to test the rest of the relays, flashing lights and stuff. Now it wants us to open and close the upper door. Now it wants us to open and close the lower door. Now the test is complete. So I had one failure of the igniter. So what I'm going to do is proceed to unhook the lower igniter and just check the resistance across it. Is a way to check them. Move this burner cover and see if I can get at the igniter here. Just take that out. And take off the screws to the igniter here. It looks like the wire goes underneath and behind, so I'm going to have to get at it from behind. So I've slid the oven out, and first thing you want to do is unplug it. In this particular model, I've got to remove this whole big back cover, so I'm going to remove all these screws around the edge on both sides and remove the cover. The igniter comes right out here and attaches. So I'm going to unhook this and I'm going to run an ohm meter across this to test it. Measure resistance across this igniter. And I'm getting open circuit, so that's bad. There should be a resistance across there. I'll measure the resistance across this upper igniter. It's probably the same igniter. You should see a resistance of maybe a few hundred ohms here. Yeah, so the upper one I'm seeing 260 ohms. So obviously the bottom igniter has failed, so I'm gonna, well, I've got this unhooked down here, I'll just pull it through from the inside and order a new igniter. So I've removed my old igniter and got a new one here. Here's the old one with the small connector on the end. The new one I got, this original one is actually like 60 bucks. I don't know, it seems like a rip-off to me because really all you're paying for is a different cable and connector. So I bought a generic one for like $18 on Amazon, and I'll post the link to both of these on Amazon. But all I've got to do is just bend this excess bracket up with the pliers. The top one lines up here, and then I'm gonna have to cut this connector off. It's a slightly different size than the original, but it came with some ceramic wire nuts, so I'll just cut this connector off, cut this old wire, and splice the old connector on so the wire ends up being the same length, and we should be good to go. I'm just going to clip this new connector right off. Don't eat it. Strip this wire a little bit. Then I'm going to cut this other one off, so I've got a little extra slack here. Actually a lot extra. Let's cut it way up here. And I'll strip this one a little bit. Then I just need to find where the wire nuts are. Okay. I'll just put a couple wire nuts on these guys. These are the ones that came with the igniter. They're ceramic, so they will withstand the heat of the oven. And just twist these guys right on here, like any wire nut. Alright, there you have it. I've got the old connector on the new igniter. Saved myself 40 bucks. So now, as you can see, I had to remove the burner and cover to get the igniter out. But oh yeah, I forgot. I've got to bend this back. I'm gonna go bend this back. Go with the pliers. Actually, I don't think I need a pliers. I can just use my thumb here. Bend that over. Okay. So now we'll feed the wire through here like it was before. Wire nuts on in there. Set that there and we'll go see if we can seat out the back. So I'm reaching under here. You can feel the wire. There we are. Here's the connector. See if I can get a little more slack here. Got that fed through here. I'm just going to get these wire nuts right to here and plug this in. Make sure those wire nuts won't short. There we are. Now I'll just reassemble the burner and igniter here. Let us slide the burner over the orifice here. Cover here. Tighten them down. Alright, so now I've just got to put the two screws in holding the igniter in place here. Got the igniter in place. So now I'm going to put it in the test mode while we got it pulled out and plug it in, put it in test mode and see if the igniter works before I get it all put back together. Okay. I've got the igniter test on. As you can see, it's all lit up there. Looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and put the back on the oven. So I've got it unplugged again. I'm going to put the rear cover on the oven. Get these two top screws started, hold everything in place. Should be all good to go. Got that in place. Get the silly gas shut-off valve in place. Now on the front, let's put the burner cover back on. The wing nut. Cover over the burner. And put the trays in, the racks.